Imagine you're having a great day. You successfully tracked a mammoth, you've got berries in your pouch, and you're heading home. And then the sky turns green. Not a peaceful forest green, a sick, toxic, bruised green. The wind goes dead silent, the birds shut up, even the bugs stop chirping. And then the horizon starts spinning. A massive, roaring black column of wind stretches from the clouds to the dirt. It's moving at 70 miles an hour, throwing trees and rocks like pebbles, heading directly for your camp. Out here, on the open plains, 15,000 years ago, you don't have a basement. You don't have radar. You don't even have a solid roof. A tornado isn't a storm. It's a monster. So, how did our ancestors survive the most violent winds on Earth without getting flung into the next valley? The answer is a mix of brilliant engineering, animal observation, and knowing exactly when to run. First, you have to know the storm is coming. And the plains are not polite enough to give you a warning. But the Earth does. Before a tornado hits, the pressure drops so fast your ears pop. The air begins to hum with infrasound, a low vibration you feel in your chest. Animals hate it. The birds vanish. The insects go cold. The bison herd in the distance suddenly starts stampeding toward the nearest low ground. If you're an ancient hunter, you don't stand there asking questions. You watch the bison, you feel the hum in your chest, and you start running. But where do you go on a flat, empty plain? You can't outrun a wind that moves faster than a cheetah, so you rely on your house. The tipi. It looks simple, just a few poles and animal hides, but it's actually an aerodynamic masterpiece. The conical shape means the wind doesn't slam into a flat wall. It slides right around it. Even better, the wooden poles are flexible. During a heavy gust, they bend and sway, giving the structure room to breathe instead of snapping. Because a snapped tipi pole in the middle of a storm is basically a giant wooden spear, not something you want in your living room. And camp placement was a literal life or death decision. You didn't pitch your tipi on top of a hill because you liked the view. That's just asking to be launched into the sky. Instead, you tucked your camp inside a deep ravine, behind a natural hill, or inside a river bend. The steep banks acted as giant windshields, letting the worst of the tornado howl right over your head. And when ancient storms ripped through permanent settlements, flattening wooden walls in a single strike, people didn't give up. They rebuilt, but they made their houses rounder and stronger. They adapted. Because to our ancestors, the wind wasn't just weather. It was alive. The Lakota spoke of Aya, a giant storm monster with a swirling body of wind and dust. A monster with an insatiable appetite that swallowed entire villages. And honestly, if you saw a column of black wind throwing bison through the air like rag dolls, you'd think it was a hungry giant too. The stories taught the young to respect Tate, the spirit of the wind. They taught them that when the giant wakes up, you bow to the earth. You hide in the ravines. You crawl into the rock crevices. You get as close to the dirt as humanly possible. Our ancestors survived the absolute fury of the skies, not by building concrete fortresses, but by understanding the language of the earth. They knew the signs. They knew the shelter, and they knew when the wind was too big to fight. If you enjoyed this look into our shared past, subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Thank you for watching, and stay curious.